Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Al-Qadr League podcast, brought to you by Haydari Sports Association. I'm your co-host, Haider Javed, and opposite me is my co-host, Saif Ali Khan, who I'm sure all of you are very familiar with at this point. Saif, thank you for agreeing to co-host.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's good to have you on board. Before I introduce our guests, I wanted to give a little bit of detail as to the structure and the idea behind the podcast. Each week, inshallah, we'll be planning to release a podcast such as this. And the idea will be to preview the forthcoming tournaments on that weekend and review the action from the tournaments. So, our guests on the very first episode, some would say, are two very different personalities, two very polar opposite characters. So, I'll start with you, Qasim. Very eccentric, very out there, very entertaining. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think eccentric is a bit of a strong word, but I prefer just slightly extroverted. I think I'm just great fun.
Quite controversial.
Why are you looking at me?
And with me is Asghar Ali. Thank you also very much for joining us. I'm sure many people would agree he's a much more calm head, much more mature personality. So
yeah, I suppose people that know me that maybe say that. But yeah, thanks.
No, we've got a yin and yang approach going on here. So
I think the answers that they both just gave kind of tell everything that we need to know.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, thank you guys very much for joining us. Obviously, the very first tournament that we're going to be holding is volleyball, which will be on Saturday. And we're just about to preview some of the things that we think are going to happen on Saturday.
So I'm going to take it from here. So Qasim, I want to ask you, obviously you're a bit of a volleyball fiend.
Yeah.
How are you looking forward to this one? Obviously it's quite a different one to last year. How are you feeling for it?
I'm really excited for it, to be fair. I think last year was a lot of fun because it was like more of an external tournament. But I think this year we're obviously looking to have it more internal. So I think it's going to be really interesting to have like a lot of the older guys coming back. I think obviously previously it was supposed to be called like Haydari Legacy Tournament, which I thought was quite fitting because now we're going to have a lot of older people, a lot of newcomers. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out.
So the teams have already been released. Any of the old boys that we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah. So from the older team, there's a lot of like a lot of star power. To be fair, I think a lot of people are probably saying that they're the favourites to win the whole thing. Obviously, you've got people like Abbas Uncle, Abbas Sharif.
When I said olders, I thought you were going to say Abbas Khan.
And then my dad's actually going to be in it, which was quite a struggle to convince him, to be fair. We've got Muzah Uncle, which is Roshan Uncle. And these guys are like seasoned veterans in the volleyball scene, like won multiple championships, won multiple premierships, like really, really good volleyball players. But a lot of them haven't played in like at least like 5, 6, 7 years. So I think there'll be a bit of rust initially, but once you get rid of that rust, they're going to be firing on all cylinders.
And for any of the people that haven't joined, I mean, they're going to come as fans. And the ones that are 50-50 on the line, what do you tell them that they're going to witness on that day?
As in like the neutral?
The atmosphere.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like it's going to be great vibes. It's going to be, because obviously everyone has either been ex-Haydari, like representing member on like the international scene. I think a couple of them have even played in New York. So yeah, I think to look out for is just great fun. I think it's going to be great vibes, and there's a couple of people that you'll see doing some spectacular stuff.
That's what was my next question. So in Unity, Yasin just closed the showdown. Who's gonna do the work over here?
You've obviously got to look at.
You can't put yourself in there.
No. You have to look at Billy. Obviously, naturally, he's probably, like, in my opinion, one of the best players in the world.
He's like FIFA beginner mode.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to look at some of the newbies in the tournament, and in the volleyball scene. We say he's going to talk. He's going to be hitting. Yeah. So Billy's probably the main one. Zuhair Uncle. Juju, he's gonna be really up for it as well. I know him.
Not part of the old boy squad.
No, he's still part of the current A team, so he's gonna be really looking forward to it. Him, I think how it's structured is the 3 or 4 best players are like the captains. So you've got like Rizwan Uncle, You've got Bilal, Juju, and Gumel.
So it's going to be quite interesting. So they all come with their own teams.
Exactly.
Old rivalries kind of coming together to see who can take it.
So on that note, both Yusuf and you, Qasim, are playing on Saturday. Who do you think are the favourites based on the teams that have been released?
I'm not gonna lie, I've looked at the teams. My team's looking really strong, I'll be honest. There's no one on my team that really hasn't played volleyball before. I recognise all the names from training. I'm hoping, Furqan was magic in the whole AQL last year. So hopefully he can bring some of that good luck with him. Not saying he'll be the best player out there, sorry Furqan. but he might bring some magic.
I think the favourites, are definitely the older team. Because, like I said, I think throughout the rest of the teams, there's some newbies that are going to be there. But everyone in that old team has a lot of volleyball pedigree. So
got some interest. Oh my god, we've got Meville Ducky coming back as a captain.
Yeah, Bobby Uncle's going to be there. From my team, we've got me, Gumel, where are we? There we go. Me, Gumel, Mohamed Baslalaji, who's I think from our team is a lot of defensive players. I think we're all very sound defensively. And then you've got Juju's team who are all very, very strong in the attacking sense. I think there's a lot of people that haven't played in so long that aren't even part of the older team. You've got Rizwan Ghulam Singh who hasn't played in a long time.
We've got Momo as well.
Momo's coming back, which is going to be really fun. Momo's always bringing great vibes, so looking forward to it.
But I think definitely the old ones are the ones to look out for. If they turn their engines on.
Yeah. That's why the team's called Diesel.
We'll be chanting ULEZ.
Nice. So that's looking ahead to Saturday, and that'll be the first tournament that we have. And you guys have previewed it really well. Oscar, I want you to come in at this point and sort of remember last year's Al-Qadr League, which I'm sure many people will agree with me when I say that it was a profound success. How would you assess your own performance? And more generally, what did you think of the actual tournament last year being its first version?
Oh, well, the tournament was run really well. I think I said it to you as well a few times. Everyone, the organisers did really well in organising everything. My own performance, I think I could have done a bit more better in table tennis, which I should have done, which that's my strongest sport probably. Badminton, I hadn't played in a while, but I had a really good partner. I think we got to the semi-finals, and then we lost to Samir. I think they eventually, I think they were very close to winning it. And then football, yeah, it was a great tournament. Didn't really play that well. Different kind of format, so it didn't really help with the goals and all that kind of stuff. But
it was different, right? It was indoors.
It was indoors, and it
took a while to get used to for all of us because we'd never played indoor before, really, or in a very long time.
Yeah, exactly, and it was quite off the wall and then quite in your face as well. But I think the sport that I enjoyed the most, atmosphere-wise, was Carrom. Especially in the centre over here.
People have said the same thing.
Did you ever think Carrom could be considered the sport with the best
No,
atmosphere?
you have to remember Carrom is a lot of Qadr heritage.
Yeah.
It goes back to when you used to play in East Africa. It is just the Qadr sport.
100%. And I think there's one sentence that kind of puts it all in a nutshell, and that's Kaki did the knee slide. No, we didn't get that in football, but we got it in Carrom.
If I had a pound for every time that knee slide has been mentioned.
But bro, has anyone ever done a knee slide in Carrom?
In the mosque.
No, absolutely. That's legendary moment last year. Where did you finish last year? How many points did you end up on?
So I think I finished 14th and with 14 points, which was I was quite happy with that. I think the main thing was that I really enjoyed coming, to table tennis, to badminton, to Carrom. And just watching with Carrom, actually, it was really good fun because the adults were playing also with the youngsters, and the youngsters final was absolutely brilliant as well. The adults final was really good, but I actually enjoyed the youngsters final just as much as the adults. They really put in a good performance. It was really good.
I have poor memories of the youth finals for Carrom because it's the one that took the championship away from me.
Oh yeah, that's when he got his points. But so the question goes to you as well, Qasim. Then I wonder, what was your favourite sport, and how did you find it last year?
My favourite sport. I played the best. I wouldn't even say I played the best, but I had the best result in the football because I ended up winning penalty and all. Made 2 saves, scored the final penalty.
Your super moment.
Yeah, a bit of a carry job if I might say so myself. But no, I wouldn't even say football was my favourite. I'd probably say Carrom as well. Carrom, like I didn't even play that well. I think I got knocked out in the groups.
Yes,
But-
so did we as well. But it was just more enjoyable just
Yeah,
watching
exactly.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really
Like I think you played with Kumal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have to bring up my super moment in that. I think
The
it was in the
luckiest
semi-final
moment, yeah.
where I shot it, and one of the
Yeah.
pieces rolled all the way across the table and
One
went
of
in.
the luckiest moments I've ever seen in my life.
Listen, I think Carrom just might be the best. I'm gonna start getting Carrom fanatics.
To be fair, since that tournament, me and some of my boys have been playing throughout the year. I think we've ended up at your house playing a couple times. So I think even after that, I've just been practicing a bunch of other sports.
This is heritage, brother. But even like football for myself, I loved the atmosphere, the fact that everyone's sitting all along the walls.
Yeah.
It was, I've never played like, as in obviously we played FIFA Street on PlayStation and whatnot, but it really gave that FIFA Street sort of vibe. And like you were saying, it bounces off the walls, everyone's in your face. And for me, I just like thrilled off that. So yeah, and if you were to go for a highlight moment, like from all the sports, all the players, a highlight moment for you, you can't bring up your penalty.
As much as I'd love to bring up a penalty, or the game-winning save, or all of my other spectacular moments, I probably would say Shabir in the finals of the football, where I told Shabir before the game, because we were playing against Lefty's team, which is Adil, who's probably the best football player at Hadri right now for sure. But I told Shabir, no matter what happens, you stop Lefty from getting through a goal, because if he shoots, he probably will score. And I think he took it a bit far. Lefty skipped past him, and Shabir just jumped on his back and nearly pulled him down. And they gave a foul, obviously, but they didn't end up scoring it.
It was a Luis Suarez moment.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do to
He
make
did
sure.
his
Listen, Lefty's held on to that bro for so long. We had football training yesterday, and he just barged me out of the blue. He goes, "That's for being Shabir's twin."
Oscar, same applies to you, really?
Yeah.
What was your highlight from last year?
Well, I think the whole tournament, it's a highlight. Just being a part of the community, just watching all the sports with the whole community.
Come on, you've got to give us one specific moment. We had 6, potentially
That's
7
such a
tournaments.
difficult
Very problematic.
It's a difficult one. Well, you've already said a Kaki's moment. That was very fun. I don't really have one myself. Just being a part of it was just something else.
Yeah, I think to be fair, another one to bring up was the table tennis final. That was really
Oh, yeah.
exciting
That
because
was-
his name's Hassan, right?
Yeah, Hassan.
Yeah.
Versus Kamal Kaba, and I thought Kamal Kaba was going to take
Yeah.
it clear simply because I've not seen Hassan play table tennis before. But boy, that final, that was something.
Took it back to the Mombasa days, bro.
Yeah.
He
Listen,
played really well.
I've not seen two people sweat that much in a game of table tennis.
That was very
Yeah,
intense.
he played really well. Hassan Ali's got a very good game. Mashallah, he puts a lot of spin on his game, and I think he from back home. He definitely deserved to win.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a few players to watch out for because they've been doing the Thursday night sessions at Hadri, and I know there's Yusuf Hassan Ali, Ali Mehdi Gara.
Yeah,
to be
Ali
honest.
Mehdi Gara.
I mean, he's still quite short, so he's like tiptoeing over the table.
Will he be in the youth? In the youth?
I think he'll be in the youth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. And Danyal as well. How can I forget Danyal?
Yeah.
He's quite a good table tennis player as well. So even that's going to be
Abbas
a
Uncle.
sport to watch.
Abbas Kara.
Yeah. In fact, there's so many. This is going to be.
So if I remember correctly, the youth table tennis final last year was between Ali Mehdi and Amar Rafiq, and that was an absolutely brilliant
Yes.
final. They both
yes.
ran each other
Yeah, they
very
did.
close.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Amar,
It
if
was
you're
really
watching, you'll probably be out for revenge this year.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if anyone's around and that game's going on, make sure you go over to watch that because I
Yeah.
remember even that was an incredible one.
Yeah,
That was
no,
really
definitely. You can pause this.
No,
So far, so good.
he's lost for words. It's an incredible tournament. No, but okay, I'm going to ask both of you guys a question. And Hayder, how many sports are you taking part in?
Just the one this year, unfortunately.
Poor
Just
representation.
the
I
one.
wanted to see you in volleyball. That was.
So what the condition to enter volleyball was prior volleyball experience, and I just probably didn't meet that.
That's fair
criteria.
enough. That's fair enough. But I suppose obviously you've got a lot going on behind the scenes and you want to make sure that the days run smoothly as well.
That's the idea. I'm going to take more of a backseat role this year and help out more with the planning.
Which is the single sport that you're taking part in?
No prizes for guessing which.
Football, obviously.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Shiburi. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the teams on that one. I think last year in my team I had Abbas Alidina and Shaquille, and they've obviously gone to Dubai, so they're not going to be there. And I just remember it was really good. Like I really enjoyed it. The teams. I think all the teams were quite evenly matched. There was a good player in each team. In fact, quite a few good players in each team. I mean, I think I've banged on about football so much. You can obviously tell this is what I'm looking forward to.
An anecdote from last year's football tournament was when the teams were announced, Garsim was hounding me for weeks that my team was the strongest and his team was the weakest. Lo and behold, my team came last in my group with 0 points and his team went on to win. Which just goes to show
just how good I am.
If you choose your
Which just goes to show there are so many players involved. It's a different dynamic. You know, we're not used to playing indoors. And the idea is we want to encourage as much participation as possible. So someone might turn up and have an absolute stormer of a day and you just can't account for it. I'm looking at Shabir here who's walking around. So,
yeah, he was star man on that day.
Sensational.
I think you got lifted off your feet.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
but even another one to mention is badminton, because I think one of my biggest regrets was not taking part in it last year, because it just meant I got knocked all the way down. I thought FIFA would get me the points, but I got knocked out by like a 9-year-old. We won't
who
talk
was your
about
partner
that. In
badminton?
No, I didn't play. That's my biggest regret. Is obviously I lost out on the opportunity of a lot of points. I even went there to watch it because everyone was calling, like, as in a few people messaged saying, "Listen, come, the vibes are wicked," and I did take part in it, and that was such a massive regret. You guys are both taking part. In fact, you guys are both taking part in all the sports, right?
No, I need to put my name down for badminton. Actually, I wanted to do volleyball as well, but then I did see on that you have to have experience.
Fair enough. So, I mean, you obviously got 14th place last year, right?
Yeah, so I think
that's a shame because I got 13th.
Oh, you were ahead of me.
Yeah. So what position do you think you're going for this year? Coming with a bit more competitiveness, I'm assuming.
Top 10?
Yeah, try to be. Yeah, if I can get to a little bit more further in the table tennis. Karam is obviously. I've only entered Karam just to kind of be there, so I can watch everyone else play. And then football is obviously who you get in your team. But yeah, table tennis. I think if I can do a little bit more better in that.
So you surprised me last year with your table tennis skills. You were pretty handy with that.
Yeah, table tennis is probably I've been playing since I was a little kid. It's our family game.
Oh.
My sister was really good at it. She probably still is, and my dad played for quite a while.
You know, you're loading up the pressure. We're expecting.
I know, but I'm not as good as them.
I want to ask you the same question then. What position did you get last year? Do you remember?
Because
I mean,
it's so long.
I don't remember. Shibir, you remember?
Second.
Trust me, the entire mosque.
it wasn't first.
Exactly. I think I was first for the majority of the tournament, and then like the final day, I got overtaken by
You like really bit your mouth when you said that. Like I feel like there's vengeance coming out.
No, there's no vengeance to be had. I mean, like Mohamed Rida Dalji.
He needs a child.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I can't really say too much.
Foot him in the foot.
I think you're going to be splitting the youth and the adults, right?
So that's a big change this year. If you haven't heard already, the youth leaderboard is split with the adults leaderboard. So anyone under 16s will have their own champion, and anyone over 16s will also have their own champion. And the whole mosque will pray and hope and do dua during the month that it won't be Qasim.
And you know what? Despite all of those prayers again, and you know
well,
what?
they worked last year,
you know
Qasim.
Yeah, they did work, but you know what? We're changing the format now, and so you know what? Everyone, I beg you, please pray against me on Al-Qadr, but I promise you it won't work.
Are you going for first place then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming second.
You heard that.
Coming second last year was a massive pain, and like I said, I had to hear it from everyone in the mosque, like men, women, and children. Like everyone. I think there were a lot of the youth that
I think if anyone reminded you more than anyone would remember himself.
So I'm gonna put it out there and say Qasim won't finish top 10 this year.
Top 10.
It's okay. No, I thrive off of the haters. I really do. I love it.
It's a calculated prediction. I'm not just saying it to get under your skin.
Clearly didn't do very well at maths, did you?
I think last year you were quite fortunate with your teams, sort of the sports and the way they played out. This year, if I'm thinking of the sports that you can possibly enter,
Which is all of them. The second the sign-up sheet came out, I signed up to all of them.
I think there's a strong chance you don't win any of them.
That's really interesting because I think football I still have a great chance. Table tennis and badminton is just about participating and getting as far as you can for me. Karam is up to your partner really, because you could be as good as you want, but if your partner can't help you, then such is life. But football, I know for a fact I can definitely take it to the top.
Is that based on your pre or post Dubai performance?
Listen, I've said this multiple times, right? Dubai was a bit of a stinker, a massive stinker. If
Was it the heat?
No, not even.
Sorry, say stinker one more time. The amount of times they slipped through the lines.
It was not the best performance, but you know what? Like I said, class is permanent.
So we've also got Oscar right here, who's part of the goalkeeping union as well. Also another goalkeeper.
How does a dry ball slip between someone's hands? We were in the desert playing football.
Look, I've done it many times as well, so it's one of those things. You turn your head and suddenly the ball.
It's in the net. Yeah, that's usually when I'm shooting.
See, if you were looking,
It's been a while since I scored. I can't even say that.
if you were looking for someone to not back me up, you do not want Oscar because mashallah, Oscar was too nice. And he's part of the goalkeepers union, so you're never gonna.
Hey, look, I've got a question for you actually. So obviously you're part of all the sports that's going on, and I'm assuming you've seen a lot inside what the youth's happening a lot on the adult side. Who are your top 5? And I know that's a lot to ask. Maybe we could go with the top 3, but who are we really keeping our eyes on despite all the different sports?
Yeah, I think the key will be if you can enter as many sports as you can, which is a given, but also if you can win maybe a couple, potentially 3 to 4 games, you don't have to go all the way. But if you have a solid performance in each sport, I think you're going to be right up there. So I think Ali Doogie, who did the intro video, I think he'll potentially be up there. His brother has messaged me saying that he's ready to win. So keep an eye out on Sean. I don't think potentially some of the younger guys. So Qasim.
You just said I'm not going to finish the top 10.
I wasn't about to say.
There's a lot of Qasim, brother.
It's fine.
I was going to say Qasim Laji.
What makes him so good, Qasim? Is it his long arms?
No. He's been blessed with normally sized arms. But he is definitely a contender. If he manages to enter all the sports, he's definitely a contender.
I hope to see him at the football team.
I think
he's decent, but he doesn't play football as much as he should.
Yeah, I think Samir Uncle's an outside shout.
Samir Uncle
for sure.
I think he got a mention in the promo video, and obviously he's great at racket sports. He's quite naturally a sportsman as well. I'm thinking from some of the youngers, you've got the likes of Mozak, Hassan Gara, Hamza, Akil, even my brother Sajad. I don't know if he's taking part in all the sports. Who am I missing? There's quite a lot of people potentially.
Will potentially just be injured throughout the season. So I'd count them out, to be honest.
Listen, Saj and Mozak, I cannot agree.
He missed Unity because of his coconut allergy.
Yeah, it's a really peculiar allergy, that one.
Yeah, it is. But
Oscar, what about you? Who do you think is up there as someone to keep an eye out
You
for?
probably won't like it, but I think this guy is probably my favourite.
Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging.
Yeah, I think he did really well last year, and I think he's got a very good chance. But again, Samir as well, as it depends on how many sports he's entering as well. Last year, I don't think he entered as many. I think he was supposed to play a couple, but then he had to pull out. But it all depends, as you said, how many sports people enter.
There's a lot of people.
I think even to be honest, on the young side as well, the youth. There's some of these kids are very gifted, just sportsmen or sports boys rather. I think, like for example, I've got in my mind what's the age category for the youth?
It's under 16.
Under 16, all the way down to things.
So you, from the youth, you've got like Noah, Mikhail.
Yeah,
for sure.
and they're just like naturally gifted. I've seen them playing football. You've got a lot of them coming. You've got Ibi and his brother Yusuf. They play a lot of sports as well. I'm sure there's tons.
Actually, one person
Not
is
yet.
Furqan.
So even he's there. Oh
So
yeah,
I was going to say Furqan was
very good
because last year he played really well. I think he was on good football, and I think he won the Karam. He plays really good badminton.
and
He's
that's what I
very
mean.
good
There's
at
quite a few people that they've just got that natural gift when it comes to sports. And I think this year, especially with what happened last year, the competitiveness is coming out.
For sure, even outside of the youth, you've got Gumal, Bilal, you've got Abbas Kara.
Hamza himself,
Hamza
if he
Wadi,
wants to
for
enter
sure.
more sports, he'll definitely be around there. So
That's what I'm saying. This year's definitely going to be very competitive. And I think last year, it kind of showed what kind of a spectacle it can be. So if everyone does sign up for this one, like the the leaderboard can get very tight.
And listen, one thing we need for sure is fans, because they made such an atmosphere. I'm going to go on about the football game, because to be fair, football, I've never even seen FIFA with an atmosphere. But I think, to be honest, like, do you remember Hamza Glover saying this game right here? I think he went 2-0, ran across the whole mosque celebrating, and you had about 20 people watching that game. So much fun. Like, honestly, if you guys aren't doing anything and nothing's keeping you, in fact, even if you are doing anything, scrap it. Make sure you come here, because you're missing out on the biggest thing happening in South London.
Absolutely, 100%. And just to extension on what Qasim said, I'm going to do that again. And just as an
I think when he mentions you, he just gets lost for words.
I'm telling you, I live rent free in Haverford.
You've got to cut this out.
No way.
It's absolutely not safe.
But he said he lives rent free.
Just picking up on something Qasim said about entries last year, so I can absolutely say from an informed position that the entries that we've had this year are just absolutely overwhelming. So we had a great tournament organised this year, and I think this year we're going to go even better. So if you haven't already entered, keep entering. Deadlines haven't passed, other than volleyball, of course. And let's just make this a success and even better than it was last year, because we're all looking forward to it this month.
Yeah, and I think one thing to add to that is, obviously we're not taking part in the youth sports, but when the youth sports are going on, let's just go there, support the youngers. We'll all have a lot of fun watching it for sure. And it's just nice to see, it's nice to give them that community spirit. And essentially that's a big part of Ramadan as well. The month of Ramadan is such a beautiful time for all of us to kind of get together, enjoy this stuff together. And at the end of the day, the unity that it builds, I see faces that I haven't seen for such a long time because of stuff like AQO and obviously Ramadan itself. And to see those in such an enjoyable atmosphere and stuff, it's fantastic. So again, if you're one of those people, just make sure you come down, honestly.
And if you're coming just for iftar, I'm sorry to disappoint. Last year we had pilau for 3 of the nights. This year there won't be any. So sorry, Qasim.
That's the thing that gave me energy to win those.
And that was some banging pilau as well, man. That was beautiful.
Shout out to Kani's auntie.
Oh yeah, she made it. That was bellissimo. But okay, yeah, no, I think we've covered a lot of the stuff. We can wrap it up there, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we've gone over it a million times. Just make sure you're there, because you're missing out more than anyone else. So yeah, Hader, I'll let you finish it there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saif. So that's our preview podcast. Thank you very much, Saif. That's our preview podcast for volleyball. Appreciate we didn't speak tons about volleyball, but our next episode will be discussing the results of the volleyball tournament, what happened, some of the highlights, and then looking ahead to the forthcoming tournaments, which will be table tennis.
Yeah, I believe it's table tennis.
And can I just say, please don't actually pray against me during Ramadan. It's a very spiritual month. And I don't want to lose. Yeah, please, I don't want to lose.
Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.